Australia.
Yeah, that's weird. Well, let's sink our menses and do a show. I think.
Okay.
I think why not? All right, here we go. Count it down. Off we go. We're doing it. It starts in 3, 2. Gotta have the right tab open, Scott. 3, 2, 1.
Well, if they can have one of those at Buckingham Palace, I see no reason why we shouldn't have one in the Blue Peter studio, and here it is. Well, this particular machine gives me a choice of 6 different drinks. There are 4 different sorts of coffee and 2 of chocolate. I think I'll try one of the chocolate ones, see what that tastes like.
I hate dick!
From Hell's Heart, I podcast at thee. This is the Morning Stream.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the Morning Stream. It's TMS for February 20th, 2020. So it's 2/20/20/2020. 2/20/20/2020?
2/20/20/20.
That's fun to say.
It is.
Yeah.
Right?
We did it
If
before
only
the
there
show.
was a 20th month.
Oh, man, that'd be great. What would you call the 20th month?
It'd be 20/20/20/2020.
What would you call the 20th month? What name would you give it?
I would call it Fartvember.
Ah, that's perfect. Everyone
Yes.
farts.
Fartober.
Fartober. I like it. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Someone in the chat says they're having audio cut in and out. I think that's just them. Just you.
It's Talia.
Yeah. Maybe want to fix your internet there, Talia.
Maybe you don't have audio awareness.
Yeah, maybe that you missed that day in class. It's fine. Hey, we're here to do a show. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. It's a Thursday, which means my sister will be here. Although I'm still waiting. She was supposed to send me a topic this morning, and I still haven't gotten it. So I don't actually know what we're talking about. But I'm not worried. Wendy's one of those people who can just do stuff on her feet, man.
She is. She just thinks on her feet, on the fly, quick. Brainiac, cool.
Yeah, very nice. Oh, have you?
I just demonstrated, by the way,
Uh-huh.
not thinking on your feet and coming up with something to say.
Oh yeah, that was good. That was good because so we had the contrary. I get it.
You show it what not to do to further accentuate what to do.
Yeah, no, I always like an example of what not to do. So thank you for bringing that today, and I hope the future holds many more opportunities for us to do that. I have no doubt. Happy Headhunter says we should call it Gerptuary. Or
I like that.
Gerpuary. Gerpuary. Okay.
Yeah,
that's cool.
See, that's one of those, it's like February where that extra R just seems so superfluous and high and mighty and hoity-toity.
Yeah, very hoity and toity.
February.
Little Stewie in there. You had a little Stewie at that.
Stewie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
Stewie.
Hey, we're going to start the show off. I like to do this on some days, not always, but some days I like to just read a couple emails that have been piling up.
Yeah.
And we got one from our friend Jeff Sire in Canada, a.k.a. Bronco.
Oh, good.
And he also just bought a new house, so it's soon to be no more Bowmanville. It's soon to be Grafton. Grafton? Oh, because PH. Grafton.
Yeah.
He got a new house.
Straffanger.
Yeah, Straffanger.
He pronounced the PH like in the middle of Straffanger.
So it's a new place in Ontario. But anyway, well done. Congratulations there, Jeff. But he wants to take me to task, and he does it in the most sarcastic way possible. So here you go.
Yes, love it.
Scott and Brian, it was so refreshing to hear Scott's complaints about Jean-Luc Picard and the TV show Picard and all the tea references. My God, will it ever end, he says. Tea this, tea that. It just goes on and on. Sandwiching in tea references when it makes no sense. At long last, these tea references have died mercifully away. How annoying, right, Scott? Now you know how we feel, he says. Low tea this and low tea that. Shove that tea into conversations that have nothing to do with low tea. But merciful, these annoying references have gone and died away on Picard. I thought it would never end. Your high tea fan, Jeff Sire.
I enjoy our weekly sarcastic email from Jeff Sire.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I love Jeff Sire. Are you kidding me? Thor, I'm not butthurt at all. This is Jeff.
God, no.
Jeff's an old friend. He's one of my favorite people on the planet.
Exactly. Listen, this guy rides a motorcycle or a motorcycle. from Canada down to Salt Lake City all the time for Nerdtaculars when
he's a tough mother scratcher. This
when
guy.
those things were going on.
Yeah, remember those? But he's like on a great big BMW hog. He's muscular and big and scary.
Exactly.
He stayed at my house for 2 days once. He's the nicest guy on the planet. He's a great guy.
Of course, absolutely.
But to his point, I will make this comment. I think I'm just T now. I'm not low T anymore.
You're not low T or high T. You're just T.
I think I'm just T because I've been doing the things, and the doctor says, "All right, well, your levels look good." So I said, "Okay, I guess I'm at T level." And my wife said, "This is what she said. She said, you know how this stuff's working. You know how this is working." I said, "How do you know that?"
God. Oh God! All
and
right.
she says, "You got weird hair in places now."
Oh, okay, good. Although, ew.
I know, right? That's what I said. So
Follow-up question. Ew.
Back here on the back side of my shoulder and arm right here, a little bit of hair growing. Don't know why. Just kind of came out of nowhere.
Oh.
Same thing over here on
I
this side.
actually get beads and braid it.
I mean, you're a hairier guy than me, generally speaking.
Yeah, I think so.
I've never been a
Except
hairy
in one
person.
place.
Yeah. Brian is making up for it everywhere else. But in my case,
Right.
apparently that's why I don't really lose much hair, is because all of it stays away from the rest of me. I just don't get hairy. I've never had a hairy chest ever. I just don't have any of that. Just like a dolphin, down below the neck. But lately, just a little bit of hair right here.
I'm like
right here.
I'm like what you get if a Baldwin brother has sex with Mr. Clean.
Whoa. Which Baldwin brother, though?
Oh, yeah, that's a good question. It would have to be Stephen.
Steven. Is this Stephen Baldwin? I was hoping you'd say
Stephen Baldwin, yes.
All right, always go with Stephen.
So the Baldwin brother that didn't get as much air as the other ones.
Yeah. I will have Jeff know that I haven't brought up the low T thing in probably a good couple of weeks. So
No, you haven't. You totally haven't.
So he brought it up this time. This was him.
Exactly.
It's on you, Canadian man. All right. The Lucifer show caused a bit of consternation. All our discussion about it yesterday. We got a few emails about it. I pulled this one from William.
The Lucifer Show.
The Lucifer Show. Starring
called I
Satan.
Love Lucifer.
Now that I would watch. You have Ricky'd be like, what would he be like? A little.
No, Ricky, I'm not going to come down to the Tropicana today.
Oh, please, Lucifer. We are
No,
performing
I'm not
your
going
favorite
to sing
song.
Babalu.
Oh, no, we are playing your favorite song today at the Tropicana. Was it the Tropicana?
What accent? Where do you think Ricky Ricardo was from?
I don't know what accent that is. That's a combination of like three. It's not good. All right, so here's what he says. William wrote in, says, I just want to chime in about Lucifer. When it was first announced, it was supposed to follow the story from the comic books. I didn't know there was comic books.
I didn't know there were comic books, yeah.
It says, but after the failure of Constantine/Hellblazer TV shows, they took away what Neil Gaiman originally wrote for them and turned it into this show. I was happy when Netflix got it, but it didn't change much at all, so I was sad again. I didn't know that. I didn't know those guys were involved at all. Didn't know there was a thing.
I didn't know that either. Boy, that makes me sad, because that would normally be something that I'd be all over. I love Neil Gaiman and stuff that's based on comic books. Yeah, bring it on. I even like the Constantine character he's been added to. They took him off of his separate show and added him to Legends of Tomorrow, DC's Legends of Tomorrow, which is becoming the bat crap crazy best part of the CW Arrowverse.
That's the fun one, right?
That's the fun one.
Yeah.
And they basically take, all these stragglers from all the different shows. They've got the Atom from, I guess he was dating Felicity for a while on Arrow. And then they've got Mick Rory from The Flash.
Yeah.
And it's great. It's really, it's just goofy. It's totally goofy.
It's the one, when I talk to people who like it, it's the one show they hope doesn't go away in this WB lineup. They all want it to stay. So sounds like you're in that boat as well.
I'm in total agreement. I'm glad. Listen, I'm glad Arrow's over. That was just circling the drain for the last 2.5 seasons.
Yeah, it run its course for sure.
Exactly, and I'm kind of getting there with Supergirl. Batwoman just doesn't feel like it's ever gotten any legs.
Wait, she doesn't have any legs? She's like Barbara Gordon.
That's right.
Weird. Weird.
Yeah, but then Flash is still okay, although it's it's suffering the same fate as Arrow. It feels like when they run out of good stories for the main character, they turn it into the girlfriend show, and it's turning into the Iris show.
Yeah,
just like Arrow turned into the Felicity show.
Why do they do that? That's dumb. They shouldn't do that.
It's because Greg Berlanti says, you know what the show needs is more relationships. More romantic relationships. I don't know what he sounds like. He kind of sounds like he sounds like the guy from Kiss meets this show needs more relationships, Gene.
Yeah. All right, designers. It's like Tim Gunn and
right.
Paul
right.
Stanley together at last.
Paul Stanley, thank you. Could I come up with
The Kiss guy.
the Kiss guy? I could come up with Peter Criss, Ace Frehley, and Gene Simmons. Could not remember Starface Dude.
Starface Dude. There you go.
Starface Dude.
Starface Man. All right. So here's another email.
Tim Stanley.
Tim Stanley. I like it. It's a good combo. All right. We got this deal about the K-pop, although people are calling him K-poop. Okay.
K-poop.
So the guy that was in the men's room at the mall listening to K-pop on his phone like it was a boombox. And here's a theory about it, or a thought. Hello, Shy and Bum. I guess those are two bathroom things.
Yeah, it's related to what he says in this, actually.
Oh, all right. Well, I shouldn't assume then.
Read on, Scott. Read on.
I think I'm going to keep reading. I have a theory on the guy who was dancing around to K-pop music in the public men's room from episode 1879. Are we really at we're at 1882 now? Do you know that? I'm sorry, 1802. That's crazy.
18. How could we have gone from 1879 to 1802? Seems like that would be going backwards.
Yeah, hold on. Something's wrong here.
We went from 1880 to 1801.
Shit, we're supposed to be 1901.
No, we're supposed to be
1902.
1882 is what we should be today.
1880. Oh, you're right.
Yeah, Tuesday was 1880.
Wait, what?
You just basically
then?
wanted to add a zero.
Okay, well, I screwed this up yesterday then. Okay, so 1880. Then I went to 1801. I need to change that to 1881. Oh, that sucks, because that means the RSS feed's wrong, too.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
oh, no.
I just need to... Maybe I should just stop caring about numbers after a while. 1882.
I don't know.
Okay.
This will be really handy for the future awards show and Hall of Fame that will be launched sometime in 2025.
Yeah, no kidding. Man, it didn't sound right, but I'm glad you said that, because it wasn't ringing with me. All right. Yeah. Anyway.
There we go.
Where the hell was I?
Anyway, 1882, 1879.
1879. You guys said that his friend went into one of the stalls, so maybe his friend is a shy pooper, and K-pop dancing guy serves as an audio and visual distraction for everyone else in the room so that his friend can successfully do his business. Just a thought. Love the show. Kelly.
Okay, so his friend goes into the stall.
Yeah.
K-pop dancer dude.
Yeah.
Is meant to distract everybody else to not pay attention to the shy pooper, but doesn't distract the shy pooper himself?
Correct.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, maybe he's just used to it. If he's used to using his friend in this way.
Does his friend come over to his house?
I mean,
hey, I'm thinking about pooping around 3 p.m. Do you mind coming by?
It's just their way. They've been doing this forever, man. They know each other. They finish each other's sentences. They make each other so they don't poop shy. All that stuff. Yeah, I don't know.
Sure.
I don't know if I like this theory. The theory to me is that the guy in the stall is probably annoyed because his friend does this. And wouldn't you be annoyed? I'd be annoyed.
I'd be completely and totally annoyed.
Yeah. I'd be like, dude,
you have to come with me to the bathroom every time.
I'd be like, we can't be freaking friends anymore. Like, I got other people to meet and hang out with and learn to like, and not hang out with you anymore.
Right.
It just seems weird.
I'm going to be taking a flight. I guess I need to buy you a ticket to come along with me to make that noise outside of the airplane stall.
Yeah.
Airplane stall door.
I still haven't been in one of those, Still haven't been.
That's right. You've been in a bathroom, airplane bathroom. You've just never pooped, right?
No, I've never been in there at all.
You peed in an airplane bathroom.
No, never have. No. Well, that's not true. The one in China, the one on my way to China, I did, but
You just didn't poop.
Never pooped. Never pooped on a plane. It's like I have 3 really dumb long running things. One is I'm sorry, 4. One is I've never paid for a haircut. 2, never pooped on a plane. 3. 3. Wait, what was 3?
No vomit for a long time.
Oh yeah, I haven't barfed since 2015 or 2005 rather, and I haven't. There's another one. I've never drank except for that goof in Mexico that wasn't my fault. So those are my 4 big long-running things, and the haircut and the plain.
That, my drinking Saturday night was not my fault. That was the fault of Crazy Neighbor. But
I blame. It's no problem blaming him for stuff like this. No problem. That's what Dave's job is. All right, tell me about Chicago's meetup. I wish I was going.
Yeah, so I'm nailing stuff down. Thanks to Barry Folks, I've got a new. Well, this part isn't thanks to Barry Folks. Thanks to me, there's a new channel in the TMS category in the Frog Pants Discord called Brian's Chicago Meetup.
Nice.
Clever, right?
Nice.
If you go in there, that's where we're talking about what the plans are for the meetup. But right now, it's planned for Friday, March 6th, the night before the Geek Bowl competition on Navy Pier in Chicago, Illinois. Chicago. That's right.
Wait a minute. Where? I'm trying to find this.
So under the morning stream category, you got TMS chatter, spoilers talk. Keep going down.
There it is. Brian's Chicago meetup. Yeah, there it is. All right. Well, look. A quick note to folks at home: if you haven't ever been to the Discord, get in there. You can see I'm showing the channel right now. You can just join easily by going to frogpants.com/contact, or there's a link also on the TMS page. And join up in there if you're in that area. Brian would love to see your ugly face.
Totally would love to see it. And we're talking right now about, there's a couple things that Barry's been sussing out, a couple arcade bars, an emailer by the name of Desmond Rice suggested, he's a Chi-Town guy, and he suggested the Galloping Ghost arcade. It's an arcade, but not a bar or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's on free play, $20 to enter the arcade. Oh, it's expensive.
Oh.
$20 to enter the arcade, $15 for pinball, or $30 for both pinball and video games.
Wait, $20 to get in the door, but then an additional $30 to just play it all? At
your
heart's content?
So $50? That can't be right.
That seems like a lot.
Yeah.
It seems like it may be $30 to play everything, to get in, and to play everything, and $20 to get in and just do pinball or something.
Oh, maybe it's both locations. So there's a second building a couple blocks away dedicated to pinball. Pinball arcade at 30-40 pinball machines. $20 to enter the arcade, $15 to enter the pinball place, or $30 for both. So for $30, you get free play at both places.
Oh, that's not bad. I mean, it's still not the cheapest thing, but it's better than $50. So
yeah. So anyway, we're looking at plans. We're figuring stuff out. So make sure to go to the Discord, Brian's Chicago Meetup, and you'll find all the information there as we get stuff figured out for basically 2 weeks.
2
weeks from tomorrow. Holy cow!
Yeah, that's crazy. Oh, also a confirmation if you're coming to the Vegas meetup for TMS, Tom Merritt confirmed for Saturday.
Oh, yay!
At the very least. There may be more, but he'll be there for the Saturday for sure. And that was good news. Yeah, heard that. I know Jerry's still on the... Jerry won't know till the week of, so we'll figure that out. But
and we're really close to announcing a potential activity for Friday night.
Ooh.
That, the same night as the wedding.
Friday night activities, yeah.
A little Friday night at the Plaza House.
Yeah. See what's going on there. Anyway. All right, cool. All right. Well, that's awesome. March 6th, everybody. That'll be about 15 days before the release of Animal Crossing.
You're really excited about Animal Crossing.
This
is on the Switch?
Yes. This is like me. This is like you with the Pokemon. Is how I am with the Animal Crossing. I love that series so freaking much. Oh my gosh, I just adore it. And the new one looks great. They did a Nintendo Direct today and showed a bunch of stuff. They got terrain deformation. They got custom layout stuff. You get to figure out how you want your island to be, what hemisphere you want to be on. Oh, man.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's going to be good. I can't wait.
Am I going to have to do theory crafting to enjoy Animal Crossing now?
No.
Like, is there a website where I have to do some min-maxing of my apple trees?
As far as I know, no, but probably somebody somewhere has got a good apple tree plan and of how to get the most bugs at what time of night to catch the best bugs and that kind of stuff. I'm sure that exists. But what I love about Animal Crossing Is it just you can absorb yourself in this living world and it continues on without you? The clock's always ticking. And so when you're not there, stuff's growing and happening. And when you're there, people are like, hey, you're back. Sweet. How's it going? What's up? The only downside is Tom Nook's a bastard and you owe him money. That bastard. I assume he's back.
Tom Nook.
Yeah. It looks nice, too.
Imagine TMS Vegas is going to be a bunch of people running around with their Switches, either playing Mario Kart to prepare for the Saturday night deal. Oh, make sure Tom gets in on the goes and registers for Mario Kart.
Oh, I told him about that. He said that sounded rad, but it didn't make it sound like it would be the kind of thing he'd sign up for. I would love him to, but I don't know that he would ever.
My gosh, it is a gas pedal and steering left and right for $10, Tom. Oh my God.
I mean, it seems like a no-brainer.
It's tech, Tom. It's tech.
It is tech. There's a lot of tech in that controller, in the what you're getting up on the screen. I mean, Nintendo, they're an entertainment company, but really, it's tech. I think we've convinced him. It's all over now.
Thor4231 says No Man's Sky is his addiction. They just introduced organic ships like in Farscape. Well,
yeah.
What?
You can hatch a ship now.
Does it talk to you? Like, is it like?
I don't know if it's sentient or not. I haven't actually got in, but I did see this update, and I don't even know what the process is. But yes, you can hatch a organic ship, a la the way that show worked a little bit. It's they keep making that game cool, man. It's just a great, growing, ever improving game. And
just when you think it's safe to go play something else, they pull me back in.
The patch notes, according to Happy Headhunter, say that it is a sentient being, your ship, so that's cool. And also, there's tentacles moving around.
Oh,
so,
really?
Yeah.
Can the ship go mine carbon for me while I go do something else?
Yes, it goes down to the ground and just pokes rocks while you do something else.
Oh, thank goodness! Go poke rocks while I go. While I sleep.
I like that better than pound sand. If you want someone to go away, you just go poke rocks. Say that,
Tom.
Go
poke rocks.
Yeah, go poke some rocks. That's nice. The game. That's the gamer way. All right. I still haven't heard from Wendy, so I'm sure she'll be here. We'll figure it out. But in the meantime, it is time for this.
I don't watch the news.
Time for the news, brought to you by.
Hey readers, do you come across articles online that you just don't have time to read? Have you tried Read It Later services only to find they end up just as a list of articles that you'll never get around to? Those a bunch of words there. Try listenlater.fm, a Read It Later service for your ears. Listen Later gives you a personal podcast feed that you can add to your podcast player. Then, as you're browsing online, you send Listen Later articles that you want to read. It nearly instantly converts the articles into audio podcasts that you can listen to when you have time. Please go to listenlater.fm to try it for free. You know you wanna.
Sounds good. Go check it out. All right. Eating less meat is fine with the majority of Americans. They didn't ask me. I don't want to eat less meat.
Really?
I like meat.
No, I'd be fine eating less meat.
I mean,
it's
not that I don't want it. It's not that I can't or shouldn't. It's that I don't want it.
I had Freddy's last night, Scott.
Oh, how was Freddy's?
Oh, so good. It was like the first hamburger I've had in weeks. The kids came over to do laundry and they brought Remus. It's like when Taylor comes over and brings Van.
Yeah.
Like they came over and they brought Remus and it was like I just fawn over the cat while they do their laundry.
That's kind of us. And when they bring over the baby and I just want to hold him the whole time. Same thing.
Yeah, totally. So he said that he needed to run over to Best Buy to pick up something for his car, some speakers, and I said, well, we were going to make a nice, delicious vegetable soup for the two of us, but since there's four of us, how about if I just give you some cash and you pick up Freddy's steak burgers for the four of us?
Nice.
So we did. So
you guys know how to turn a soup party into a real party.
Turn a hump day into a hey yeah day.
No kidding. Hey, did you so you just got did you get the double? Did you get the single?
I got California. I did the double steak burger. It's just not worth it to do.
Totally agree.
By
itself, it's just a sliver. It's just it's a piece of meat paper.
It's a thin patty, right? It's a thin patty. So 2 is like a regular burger.
Yeah.
The double is like
it's like
burger.
A meat piece of
it's
meat
like
paper.
Getting a half of a Five Guys.
Yeah.
It's like getting 2.5 guys.
Yeah, 2.5 guys is not enough guys. Need all 5 guys. Oh, you're making me hungry for Freddy's, man.
Yeah, so
maybe
good.
I haven't had a burger in a while.
Today is salad.
Maybe I will justify it today because I've been very good the last few days.
Oh, very good.
Yeah.
Good.
Anyway. Oh, and I'm also wearing I'm wearing a pair of pants today.
Oh, good. Oh, there's more?
Wait, don't let me stop you there. I have a pair of pants on today that didn't fit me 6 months ago at all. Like I couldn't even pull the
nice.
button together. Not only that, I had to wear a belt with it. So,
wow.
Hey,
very good,
baby,
dude.
that's proof right there that you're losing the business there.
What is your speaking of Vans? What does your sweatshirt say? The original Vans.
Oh, the original Vans 1966. I think that's the year they started.
Okay. When the shoe company.
Yeah, the shoe company.
Gotcha.
We have a lot of Vans stuff in the house since Van was born because we think it's funny.
Just went to the Vans store and said, anything with the word Vans on it, we'll take it.
And we went to I was telling you we were at the mall, and of course Kim gets suckered in by anything with tiny little baby shoes. If they're shoes, she's like, shoes for my kids. They're so cute. So she goes over to this corner and we found. So there's this big size van, like an adult size pair of Vans that I really want. And I've wanted them for a while, but they're kind of expensive, and I just can't justify because I don't really need them. But I like them. They're like these multicolored 80s ass-looking, retro-looking things, and I really want them, but I haven't gotten them. We found the exact same pair, but in his little size 5 little boy shoe size, and Kim bought them. And then I was like, well, I'm just going to get mine then we're going to get pictures together. And then I find out yesterday his feet are already too big for him. They don't even fit him.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so the mall took it back. It was fine. But
do they have a slightly larger size you can replace them with?
I don't know. Kim was going to. My guess is she'll take care of all of it, and I won't have to think about it ever again.
Yeah, well,
that sounds like a thing she'd do.
Sounds like a thing Kim would do.
Oh, bless you. You okay there? You got a little something there?
Fine, why? Totally fine.
All right, so more than 9 in 10 Americans are willing to eat more fruits and vegetables, and more than half are open to giving up some red meat and chowing down on more plant-based meat alternatives, according to a new survey of more than 1,000 adults in the U.S. by Yale and the nonprofit Earth Day Network. The Earth Day Network, or the EDN. EDN.
Yeah, the good old EDN.
Yeah, I always count on them for good, not fake news. Why aren't there more greens on Americans' plates? 64% of surveys participants said it was as simple as nobody ever asking them to eat more plant-based foods.
Oh, please.
I know.
Nobody ever asked me to eat more plant-based foods.
I know. I find that really...
Why did you get those reports done? Oh, nobody ever asked me to get those reports done.
Why aren't you ever on time? No one ever told me to come be on time.
Exactly. That's probably a better example.
Lame.
Why aren't you wearing pants? Oh, nobody asked me to wear pants.
Nobody asked me to wear pants. We asked for more pants. They wouldn't give us more pants.
Wouldn't give us more pants.
That's right. Another 58% said that a greener diet just costs too much. Another 50% either are unsure what plant-based foods are, or doesn't
to buy.
What to buy? Sorry, or don't know how to cook them. Well,
what are plant-based foods? How do they work?
I mean, I guess I have questions about that though. What plant-based foods to buy? We'll go to the store and look. There's a bunch of
produce section.
Yeah, the produce has all the plant-based food.
Plant-based foods. Yes.
Food you can plant in the ground.
It doesn't necessarily mean like plant-based meat alternatives.
No.
It's just plant-based foods.
Right. Food that is a plant.
I'm ready for some new plant-based foods, though.
Nude?
I'm tired of the existing vegetables and fruits. I'd like them to invent some new fruits and vegetables.
Oh, not nude. New. I got it.
New.
Yeah.
New.
I want to
make a banana that tastes like cilantro and serrano peppers.
Oh, what? That doesn't sound good at all. That sounds terrible. But I'm with
Something
you,
like
though.
It's got a little bit of like a spicy bite to it.
So you're looking for more genetically modified food.
Yeah, I want some GMOs. Bring on the GMOs.
Okay. I mean, I have friends who complain about GMOs, yet they eat a lot of broccoli, and broccoli's literally a genetically man-made thing. It was never like a natural thing.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, broccoli came from here. Let me look it up. So I'll make sure I'm telling this right. I might be spreading an urban legend. Let me see. Broccoli. Here we go. Broccoli is an edible green plant in the cabbage family, whose large flowery head is eaten as a vegetable. Where broccoli comes from, broccoli is classified as it's a large flower. Okay, I'm skipping ahead here. Here it is. Broccoli resembles cauliflower, which is a different cultivar group of the same Brassica species, combined in 2017. Oh, hold on, that's not what it means. China and India produce the most. Okay, I was getting all excited about the word combined. That's not it.
Right, but 2017, that's a lot more recent than I was thinking.
Where's the thing? There's a thing here. Production. No. Cultivation. Majority of cool weather. Did I have this wrong? I thought this was a thing. Have I been misled my whole life that broccoli was a creation of like some kind of spliced gene food?
Like it was lettuce and cauliflower had a baby.
Yeah. I was sure I had this in my head, right?
Shade Maddox is saying, are you thinking of broccoflower? Which is like a...
Maybe. Is that where they splice those two or something?
Are you thinking of Lorraine Bracco?
Always thinking of her. Are you kidding? I never stop thinking of Lorraine Bracco.
Broccoflower is like is the broccoli and cauliflower hybrid.
I must be thinking of that. Yeah. I thought basic old... Well, okay, I know what one. I mean, we were just talking about bananas. Bananas are like genetically modified to hell and back just to make them edible.
Sure.
Otherwise, it's all seeds and like a hard core thing. So there you go.
Not as sweet, like plantain kind of. That's a good example. Sure.
Yep. And then look, Bobby Frank says Brussels sprouts, broccoli, cabbage, and kale are all modified wild mustard from mustard plants.
Get out! Are you gonna listen to Bobby Frank?
I'm gonna take that as law right there. Just a single post in a chat room. I'm gonna take that as law from a guy who did not win. He was the first loser of last season's America's Next Top Podcaster.
To get so far and not win. Oh my gosh.
What does that even feel like, Bobby? Come on. Hey, I voted.
Ask us just about every podcast awards.
I don't want to get in trouble. I don't want to get in trouble here, but Bobby was my winner. I picked him.
He was. I thought early on he was a lock.
Yeah, you get that weird. I don't know, that weird dark horse vote from jury or whatever turned the boat there. I don't know, but just so you know. Oh, okay, here we go.
There we go. Yeah, I was waiting for him to finally say something in chat.
Yeah, make sure we didn't run him off. Okay, so I found I didn't find someone. Who was it? Shadow Vox or Val in the chat room says, "Did you know?" Oh, I gotta get out of this. Don't like learning new things. Go away. Okay. Oh my gosh, this website sucks. Okay.
Yeah.
Did you know that broccoli is a man-made food?
Weasel.
Ponder
you
weasel.
You can find anything. Any stance, any idea you have.
That's true.
Oh, God. The website came up completely red for me, by the way, with the exception of one block of broccoli.
Oh.
Like, it is all red.
Why? That's weird.
I wish I could.
It even made your face red for a second.
Yeah, because it's the
your screen went.
Like, if I scroll, there you go. Now I turn white. Now I turn red. That's the site. Now I turn white. Now I turn red. That's the site.
Yep. That's weird. Why is it giving you that?
I don't know.
Well, ponder weasel.
Normal
ponder
human,
this.
President.
Yeah.
Normal human, president.
All right. So here's how it was bred. Okay. According to this, there is no such thing as wild broccoli. Broccoli is a human invention. This is why, and I'd heard this, so now I'm feeling a little justified, even though it's just Ponder Weasel. But anyway,
did you hear it on Ponder Weasel, Scott?
No, I mean I don't know where I heard it. I need some confirmation.
Regular news sources.
I need some confirmation here. But it says it's a mutation of selectively cultivated by man versions of this. For its green hue and resemblance to a tiny tree, broccoli has been the bane of kids' existence. Blah blah blah. I don't care about this. Okay, start with wild cabbage. Wild cabbage has small flowering buds, but only flowers every other year. By controlling the environment, perhaps in a greenhouse of sorts, horticulturists can make a wild plant to reproduce itself many times, each time selecting the resulting plant that has the most desirable qualities. Kind of like dogs and pets and stuff when when you breed, you do breeds.
Right.
You simply discard the rest. Yeah. For broccoli, the selected traits were likely larger, tastier buds. The selection process was a lengthy one that spanned many, many years before the vegetation began to resemble our modern quintessential green vegetable. That's what I had heard.
Okay.
I had heard that. All right. So I don't feel so stupid. It wasn't a GMO, though. It wasn't like a DNA deal.
Right.
Look at Blue Ridge John getting the attention because he's using the big thingamadang.
Brassica oleracea isn't just the source of broccoli.
Yeah. This is the important thing to remember.
Okay, thanks.
Blue Ridge John. Anyway, people want to eat better, I guess. That's the bottom line there.
Sure.
Here's this one. Wendy's kitchen sink bath kid got fired. Okay, now you haven't heard of this, but at Wendy's...
There's a lot of words all jammed there. Wendy's kitchen sink bath kids.
Yeah. So there were these kids. There's a photo there if you click the link there. In fact, I'll do that for the.
Oh God, is there somebody bathing their kids in a Wendy's? Sink?
It's not that like that. It's actual adults, which is worse.
Hey, dude.
Yeah, it's
Getting
worse.
A power soak.
When they say kids, they mean idiot teenagers.
Yeah.
But anyway, these ding dongs got into the Wendy's kitchen sink thing where you wash all the dishes and whatever, and took a bath, and then took videos of it, which went slightly viral on TikTok, and then Wendy's got wind of it, and they fired their smarmy little butts. This happened in Michigan. It was a Wendy's employee who is now out of a job after power soaking in a kitchen full of suds. And so are his co-workers who helped post the video to TikTok. Several workers of the Greenville Wendy's location have been canned after a young male did this. Got in there, hopped in shirtless. I'm sure he was, he's probably wearing shorty shorts
Swim
or something.
trunks.
I don't know.
Let's hope. Yeah.
I mean, it's still not enough for me, but whatever.
No.
He certainly looks fresh, never frozen, says TMZ.
Oh, you're right, TMZ.
They're so funny.
Oh, you kill me.
They're just a hoot. According to the franchise owner of the location, the restaurant has been cleaned and inspected since the video was posted. Even though the video racked up tens of thousands of views, the Wendy store says this egregious behavior is completely unacceptable and counter to our safety, training, and operational standards. Upon learning of this situation, the employees in the video were terminated immediately, and the restaurant has been completely sanitized. The health department visited the restaurant today. No violations were reported. Good. So, do you go after this kid and like give him full on juvie for this, or what do you do? What do you think is the appropriate?
I think firing him. I mean, this is a black mark on his record. He's not going to be able to use Wendy's as a reference.
Mm-hmm.
Because if they say, "Oh, why was he let go?" Oh, because he took a bath in the sink at Wendy's.
Well, he did it for the views. Maybe this is the new world we live in.
This is how you get. This is how you get your room in the hype house.
Yep. This is it. The hype house.
The hype house.
It's the hype house.
The hype house. We watched the debate last night, but before that was Entertainment Tonight, which. I hate everything about that show.
Come on now.
Everything. I hate that. Everything about that show I hate.
Okay.
And there's a TikTok hype house that is like a mansion with a bunch of 20-year-olds living in there that their job is to record at least 6 TikToks a day, which is pretty much just them dancing to Yummy by Justin Bieber.
Wow. That's really they're getting paid
That's it.
to do that. They get paid
They're
for that?
making bank, Scott.
That I don't like it.
Yeah, I hate everything about that too.
I hate it. I don't like it. I mean, what could we do that they would pay us to make TikToks for every day? What would they do? What would it take for you to just spend your whole day dancing to a TikTok? How much money would you have to make?
Oh, all right. So if they're paying me to do this?
Yeah, they're paying you.
Pay me $500 a day and I'll dance on TikTok every day.
I'll do that too. I'll do that too.
Yeah, $500? Totally.
No problem.
Totally.
No problem.
Here's, by the way, I'm giving you a link, and you can look at this photo of all of these 20-somethings and say, yeah, these might be the worst people in the world.
Are you Discord?
If I put it in Discord and I put it in the chat room.
Hype house and the Los Angeles TikTok mansion gold rush. This reminds me of late stage Vine. I don't like it.
No.
I don't like it. I wish I could say I liked it. I don't. It just leads to misery. Okay, so here you go, chat, if you're not looking at it on your own.
Yeah, I think if there were to be a I don't know, some sort of
Oh, it's the times. They won't let me continue past this.
Oh yeah, because right.
Sure.
This is your last free article.
There's probably another economicstimes.india times. Here we go. So I'm trying to see if I recognize anybody because I watch TikTok and I don't really watch them.
Imagine them dancing to Justin Bieber's Yummy and see if any of them look familiar to you.
Yeah. Oh. The Vlog Squad shacked up in Studio City while Team 10, Jake Paul's infamous YouTuber collective, rented a giant house in West Hollywood before eventually decamping to a mansion in Calabasas. Another group of YouTubers rented a $12 million mansion in Hollywood Hills and deemed it the Clout House. Now the TikTokers have arrived and everything about TikTok happens faster than it does anywhere else. F off! I hate it.
Yeah.
Oh, you know they're just having constant sex. Don't you think?
You think?
I think
don't
they're
know.
just constantly doing it, these people. Just doing it. Just raw dogging it. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry, parents are driving in their cars right now.
Yeah.
But I just
Bobby,
think
what
there's...
does raw dogging it mean?
I apologize.
Anyway.
But you know they are. You know it. You know that they're just a...
Yeah.
It's just a... You just need to start going and getting checked and having penicillin shots and stuff, man.
According to Entertainment Tonight, they get about 20 Postmates deliveries a day.
20? Jeez,
And the
Louise.
stove has never been used.
And what are they making?
TikTok videos.
No,
They're
I
just
mean,
like going to
no,
different parts of
money-wise. Money. What kind of cash?
Oh,
they
enough
make?
to pay for that freaking house and enough to laugh their way to the bank and onto Entertainment Tonight.
Oh, yeah, remember that Vine thing when they moved their apartment to 1800 Vine Street? Ugh.
No, really.
I don't want to be...
So each room in the Hype House costs is like a $900 a month rent,
Yeah.
which
It's not,
I have no problem.
it's not
I'm trying to see what
terrible.
their income. No.
in LA, that's not terrible. It's all right, especially with 19 of you.
Yeah, let's see here. I'm just looking to see if there's
They got to share shitters, though.
well, sure. And all that Postmates getting delivered. You know when Tyler gets a delivery from Chipotle.
You know his name is Tyler, too. It's true.
No, I'm just saying there's got to be a Tyler.
Oh, I guarantee there's a Tyler. Probably more than one.
A Connor and a
There's lots of Jakes.
right, exactly.
Probably a couple.
It's a bummer. There's no disclosure as far as what their income is, but
Well, they're the whitest kids I've ever seen. Let's get a little diversity in there.
you're not wrong. Yeah. God, Scott, I wish I was an influencer.
I wanna
Don't
be
you
a-
wish you were an influencer?
I mean, at what point are we just old guys complaining that we missed this particular generation gap? But I would say to
kinda
this.
are. I mean,
would
yeah,
say this,
if we
though.
had the opportunity for this, Scott.
Would we, though? Would we? Because I don't think it leads to any kind of long-term happy time. Like, here's what I think happens. This would be like if you and I were on, I don't know, early seasons of The Real World. Okay? Because that's kind of what this
True
is.
story.
It's like the real world is being brought to us in a different way now, but it's still sort of this thing.
Right. It's just little small digestible TikTok chunks
Yeah.
of the real world.
And most of those people in interviews later are like, I hated it. It's awful. It made my life harder. I wish I had never done it. And I'm
Yeah,
just
that's
saying,
true.
I don't know for sure, but I'll bet you come back and check in with these folks at like 35 to 40. See how they're doing. I don't
That's
know.
true.
I don't want to, I don't want to.
Well, I didn't really learn a marketable skill, so I'm.
You learn how to dance to a popular song for 30 seconds.
That's right.
I don't know.
I get called by VH1 all the time for "Where Are They Now" videos.
There will be, you know what will happen? There will be a couple of people in there in this little group who are smart about this, who will sock that money away, will understand, will see the bigger picture, the longer run, and they'll be able to not only do well, they'll do great because they'll invest their money, they'll make smart choices and do good stuff. I'm not saying that's not going to happen. I think it will happen. And there's certainly examples of that in like reality TV, MTV Day stuff like Road Rules and stuff like that who did that. But there's always going to be some who are going to just be a mess. There's some Aaron Carters in there. I am telling you right now. There's about a half a dozen Aaron Carters running around, and they're all screwed.
Right.
All right.
Yeah.
Mark my words. All right. Hey, Burger King in the news.
Sure.
They're doing a weird thing that grosses me out. Yeah, it's a little weird. It's a little weird. Burger King is breaking the mold in its new advertising campaign. The burger chain is portraying its Whopper covered in mold, and they're putting it in print and TV ads running in the Europe and U.S. The message is Burger King is removing artificial preservatives from its signature burger.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah,
Wow.
look at that. How do you like that?
You know what, though? That's like, that shows like day 28, right, of what a Whopper looks like.
Yeah.
I'm going to put a link in the chat room for this. Yeah, after 28 days, a cheeseburger from McDonald's won't look bad, and that's a bad thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, I mean, okay. I understand what they're saying. It doesn't make me want to run out and get a Whopper, though.
No. Well, it doesn't make me hungry for a Whopper, but it makes me feel good that Burger King does this.
Yeah. Yes.
But I'm not going to say, oh yeah, Whopper just sounds so good right now after looking at that furry thing.
I completely agree. Like it's like on the one hand, I'm like, well done, guys. Less preservatives. That's good. It's better for us. Healthier. Good deal.
Have you heard about their Chip Buddy? The Burger King Chip Buddy?
No. What is that?
I'm gonna put a link in the because this is also brand new.
A Chip Buddy?
Unfortunately, only available in New Zealand right now. But the Chip Buddy, oh my gosh, why is this taking so long?
Why is New Zealand the guinea pig for everything? What is that about?
Well, because they know what a Chip Buddy is.
Chips like fries. Okay.
Like fries, yeah. So this is like a buddy in the UK is a sandwich. You make it with your leftover French fries from last night's dinner between a couple pieces of bread.
Yeah.
And ketchup. They put mayonnaise on this. I guess that's a thing.
Never heard of this.
There's a Beatles knockoff band called the Buddies, Butties, that's named after this sandwich.
And so it's just potato French fries in a bun.
French fries between two hamburger buns and mayonnaise and ketchup.
Mayonnaise.
Is there anything else? Is there cheese?
What is that? That's horrendous. I don't want this.
Let's see. French fries, mayonnaise, and ketchup. That's it.
Okay.
Only available in New Zealand. There's a bacon buddy that adds bacon.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would totally try.
I mean,
this.
I would try it. Yeah. I would try anything. Like even I scrolled down and I noticed they have this a related article. KFC starting to sell their fried chicken and donut sandwich. I would try that, but
that's nationwide. That is available at KFC apparently now.
So all right, I'm not going to judge anybody for this one, but I do have a question.
Sure.
If I buy the donut chicken sandwich,
that's called eating sugar. You're back on the sugar.
Well, assuming sugar is fine. Am I just the stickiest mess for the rest of the afternoon? I am, right? Because it's a freaking donut.
Yeah, but you are right because the bun is a donut.
Okay.
It's what just basically a chicken tender between two halves of a donut.
Right.
But no, it's a chicken tender between two donuts.
Yeah, two donuts. The donuts are the buns.
Right. It's not a donut split in half.
Right. Right. So
you're freaking donuts.
So when you bite into that thing, in theory you're holding it. I guess you could have a wrapper around it or whatever, but you're holding it with your hands and like you would a bun, and now you're just glazed up like a freaking grease monkey.
You hear that? That's the sound of your arteries slamming shut.
Oh man. Bad deal, dude. Don't.
Why do Americans want to eat more vegetables? Because of stuff like this.
I'm going to recommend against this particular choice. Don't do it. I mean, I'd do it for the show. Just like those kids will do the dances for the for the TikTok.
Right, exactly. Sure.
I wonder how you get into one of those collectives. Like, do you have to really prove yourself? Like,
I think so.
Hey, I'm a hot young teen or early 20s chick with
how many followers do you have? How many piercings? How many tattoos?
How many tattoos do you have? You can't. How many white
claws? Let's see if you can make an avocado toast.
Yeah. Can you make an avocado toast quickly? And can you wash it down with a
White
Claw?
You got to order from Postmates.
Yep.
You're out.
Yeah. Can you order?
Makes food.
You combine it and say, "Can I order a White Claw with Postmates? Can I do that?" Can I?
There you go. Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. We'll try to get in, guys. Let's see if we can apply. Brian and I will finally reach our potential.
We're gonna have. Oh man, all we have to do: jeans with holes in weird places, hats on backwards. I think all of our what youth looks like comes from 1990s.
It's all from late 80s, early 90s now. Anyway, we were there. We were part of that. We can do it.
Yeah.
I had holes in my jeans before it was cool.
Should we just start our own, Scott, and call it the Ripe House?
Oh man.
For older generation TikTok makers. The Ripe House.
The Ripe House. You don't make money.
Also, the smell.
Yeah. 20 people in a rundown shack using one bathroom, making TikToks on it.
Find out what happens when stuff starts getting real.
Yeah. I don't know. It's fine. It's easy to look at this stuff and make fun of it, but I realize it's also, hey, if the money's there, the money's there.
Sure. Money's there.
So
And
I just hope some
totally,
of them are smart about it. That's all. That's all I'm saying.
Hope they're socking some of that cash away and not just spending it on a double extra foam caramel macchiato.
I would have the same exact advice for them that I would have for my own kids or anyone else at any other time. Like if you suddenly have a little bit of a windfall and you're young like that, just don't this stuff's ephemeral. It's kind of like your Instagram stories. They don't last forever. They go away after a while. So just, smart.
Maybe don't buy a blinged out Switch. Just get a regular Switch and sock the rest of it away for future.
There you
go. For a rainy day.
There's the perfect answer.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, Wendy will be here, I believe. Although, let me see. Did I get that email from her yet? No. All right, it's going to be
Wendy.
It's going to be like a mystery. Oh, wait, she may have texted. Let's see. Checking text. Checking. Oh, just sent you the email, she says. I'm looking. And I don't see it unless it got to spam. It is in spam.
Oh.
All right, we have it. Okay, cool. We're all set then.
Dear Thursday, I don't know how to get email on the whitelist.
Yeah. I don't know why went to my spam, or promotions, I guess. Huh. All right. Anyway, we'll do that, and that'll all be coming up. But before that, song from Brian, what do you have?
Yeah, big thanks to Corey Council. What's the band on this one? American songwriter Maggie Miles is coming out with a brand new single. It is called What Do I Say? And I say it like that because there are no spaces between the words What Do I Say? There's a question mark at the end. The alternative song questions everything with explosive pop prowess. This is really good, actually. She's currently on tour. You can catch her in Nashville, Bowling Green, Kentucky, Atlanta, Georgia, Austin, Texas, all throughout Texas over the course of the next couple months. Find her music at maggiemilesmusic.com or on Twitter at MaggerZMiles. This is What Do I Say from Maggie Miles.
Now listen, men, to back us out of a guy, you better leave a socket touching off the sub, see? And remember, above all, to Edenobadirijibo, Reckonum Fosco, Fanny Schnipper, El on a Filigadusha. You got that?
Oh, the show with the ships and the stuff.
We can't date, you're too oily. This is the morning stream.
All right, we have arrived back at the point of no return, where we call my sister and beg her to help us.
Yes. Please help us.
If not her, who?
Give us the answers that we're looking for.
If not now, when?
Better.
Wesley! You know what I've noticed about the Picard show? He's very, he's an old guy, right? But he doesn't have that number one, that kind of like resounding thing anymore.
Yes,
it's all very
right. It's a little
raspy,
scratchier, a little raspy. Yeah,
we're all getting there.
He is playing older than he really is, though, because they do want to use the current Patrick Stewart age for flashbacks and stuff.
Oh, I didn't know that. Mm-hmm. Is that true? I didn't know that.
Yeah. He's playing older than he is.
Oh. Okay, what's fun to do is you go back and watch him on All Good Things, where he was supposed to be really old in that final 2-hour finale. And it's kind of terrible because it's not him it's just his idea of a crotchety old man. Right. So it's just a lot of Jordy, what are you doing? Yeah, like that. It's like, get out of my wine cellar, you bastard! Like a lot of. But now he's a little more subtle these days.
Exactly.
All right, I'm calling Wendy, but no answer.
Okay. We just got a reminder from Brian Dunaway, by the way. Inception is 2.5 hours long. Just a quick reminder: Inception, 2.5 hours long.
I love that movie, so I'm happy to watch it for the extra time it takes to watch.
That's weird because Joseph Gordon-Levitt made me think it was only an hour and a half. I don't know how he did that, though.
See, that movie has an incredible. It's really a 6-hour movie, but we all think it's 2.5.
That's right, exactly.
Yeah.
Weird. How do they do that? How does it work?
What is this? Oh my gosh! Do you know Jury's going to a Trump rally?
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Good. He's going to see both sides.
I guess so. He's going to see. I want to look this up.
Yeah.
He just put something in the DTNS group, which is like a little daily tech news planning group, and he says it's not private or anything. Hold on. There we go. Okay, he says The other thing is that this effing Trump rally has an 8 to 10 a.m. check-in, so early flight is in tomorrow may be dicey. Always talking about whether he'll be on the show or not. But anyway, I didn't know he was going to that. I'm super curious about that.
Yeah.
Like, what's the energy there? Is it as terrible as I think it is, or is it like
or worse?
Yeah, does it just make you feel nervous and uncomfortable, or do you feel like, because you'll hear him say something awful, and then everyone going yeah, and then I would go, ugh, really? It's them who make me nervous. It's not him.
Right.
He's a buffoon. They just have all bought into it, and it makes me feel gross.
$100 if he wears the Charmander onesie to the Trump rally.
With a mega hat on top of that?
Mega hat Charmander.
That'd be amazing. Oh, that'd be so good. Then he could throw the hat like he's trying to catch Pokemon. Oh, were they in Phoenix last night? TVZ gone? Yeah, I just couldn't go to one of those. I don't think I could deal with it.
He was in Colorado Springs yesterday, I think, or day before yesterday, Trump.
Yeah, he's all over the place. He's doing a bit of a counter push to the stuff. Oh, hi.
Hi.
Oh, hi.
Oh, we have a Wendy.
Yeah, we do have a Wendy. Oh, wait, I gotta hit record here. Okay, now we're here. We got Wendy with us, and then I can play this thing.
Something wrong, Batman? Has anybody seen Wendy?
You don't want to know that she farts.
No, we don't. I don't want to know that. Hey,
Never.
it's. Did I ever tell you about the first time I heard Mom fart? Have I ever told you about that story? Do you want to know?
Wow, just launching right in.
Do you want to know what it was? Because I remember it like yesterday, and I was only like 8, but I remember it. So here's what happened.
Yeah.
Okay, here's what happened. We're down. Do you remember the old, I guess it was the Chevy Chase house. You may not. You were so little. You were probably 3 or something. But anyway, we'll see. If I was 8 and you would have been 2 years old. So you probably don't remember this. But there was a laundry room in that house that had, the wallpaper was old prints of old newspapers from like the 20s.
Oh my
I
God.
totally remember that.
Do you remember that?
Awesome.
Are you going to tell us that when she farted, it made the wallpaper peel?
No, but I just have such a vivid memory of that wallpaper, and it was in that room, and she had me sitting on a little chair or something in there while she was doing laundry, and I don't know why I was even down there. And I remember my mom bent over a thing of laundry and went, just cracked one off, and I went, ew, or something like that. And she turned around to me and she goes, "Now that's okay. Mommies have gas too. It's okay." I just remember her trying to explain to me that a mom can have gas. Like that was just a normal thing, and that's just so burned into my head. I can't get that memory out of my head.
So did it work? Do you think that's normal?
Yes, I think it's normal that the lady folk fart. It is still not.
I love that Wendy's all of a sudden.
I know she's in therapy mode all of a sudden. But
how did the fart make you feel, Scott?
Did it frighten you?
Did it frighten me? It kind of did, because what it did is it takes this, this personage in your life who's never, who's the one that feeds you and nurtures you, and it's just always, everything's always fixed by them. So they sort of have a position of like they're impervious to any sort of weakness.
Omniscient.
Yeah, they're omniscient.
You know
and
what?
so when they
Now you
fart,
say that.
they're like, oh, geez.
That would be like me hearing Tom Merritt fart. I can't even visualize it. I can't even imagine it.
I can't either. I can't imagine Tom farting.
Like, I can imagine Jury, like, he'd crank up his leg and let one rip.
Right.
And,
right.
Dunaway and Randy, no problem. Cannot picture Tom farts.
Nope. Can't picture Tom farting.
Tom told me once that he doesn't. So.
Oh, okay. Well, see, then now it's all coming clear.
Or Scott Fletcher, for that matter.
No, Scott Fletcher. I could see Scott
People in
Fletcher.
your life?
I could see him doing it and then smiling, grinning kind of evilly as he does it. I could totally see that.
Yeah, you like that?
Yeah. But Tom Merritt can't eat donuts and Clamato and expect to never fart. That's all I'm saying.
Right. Yeah, it was that happens instantaneously.
So on that note,
jeez, where did this go?
I
don't know.
It's my fault. It's my fault.
I'm just gonna let you guys wallow in this.
All I meant from the story was that it was like the moment I realized Mom was not infallible. You know what I mean? Like this moment of like, oh, she's like the rest of us. There's just people.
Mine was when she fell down the stairs and broke her ankle, and I had to help her.
Oh,
and I was like, oh, snap.
How old were you?
I was like 12.
Jeez.
I remember just thinking, I am the adult right now. And that's a freaky moment.
Wow, and you've never been the same either. Look at you, still adulting all the time.
I know, right?
Constantly helping people with their proverbial broken ankle.
souls.
Yeah, broken something. Helping them up the stairs. All right, hey, let's get to it. Wendy is here for Therapy Thursdays. She is my sister, but also a qualified therapist. Helps people all the time with real problems. Comes on Thursdays and helps us with ours. And today will be no different. You sent me an email that you got, which I will read here shortly. I'm also excited because today I get to talk to your partner on the.
Oh yeah, we'll talk about that at the end. I'll let people know what's going on.
I'm a little nervous about it. I don't know what she's going to ask me.
Oh, don't be. It's
I'm going to make
fun.
she's going to find out about my poor eating choices, even though I've done better generally, but it's going to be weird. Anyway, we'll get to that in a minute. Here is an email that you received, which has kind of a daunting subject line: molestation of in-law. That sounds horrifying. So I'll go ahead and read it because it probably is horrifying. All right, here we go. I got this very late in the thing, so I haven't actually read it yet, but I'm going to read it now, and Wendy will tell us all about it. A little background: I've been with my wife for over 20 years since high school. Back when we were first starting to date, she was having issues with her younger sister, who has been cutting herself and being very promiscuous with boys. At the time, I saw my role as being the best older brother I could and protecting both my girlfriend and this person he's going to call V in any way that I could. We thought that V was being rebellious and self-harming because of that, but would grow out of it. After a confrontation in in school because of the cutting, V would blame it on her sister, my wife, and trying to live up to her perfection. The cutting stopped, but other harmful behaviors didn't. V's issues continued into college, but eventually she did stop harming herself and is currently in a loving, stable family. Recently, V decided that she needed to fully share her story and her history with her husband and siblings so that the whole family could heal and forgive the secret that would no longer burden her. She shared with her siblings that she had been molested when she was 12 years old and that it had been her father and that had done it. It had been multiple times, but the last time he had said, if it happened again, you need to tell someone. She interpreted that to mean that if it doesn't happen again, do not tell anyone. So she has been holding on to this for 25 years with no support or counseling to deal with it. My wife feels betrayed by the man she saw as a role model of a man who officiated our wedding, meaning her father. She wants to be able to forgive him and still have him in our lives because she strongly believes in grace and redemption. I'm feeling betrayed, sad, and in such deep anger that I'm finding it hard to even move toward forgiveness yet. This is also bringing up memories of when my wife was molested by one of our mutual friends in high school. She had shared this story with V a while ago, and V told her that she understood but couldn't share because it would have affected my wife's relationships. Ever since then, she has doubted almost all of the men that she has known, thinking there was a possibility that they would hurt her sister, all men except her father, who she so strongly believed in. I'm rambling at this point, essentially, I was just hoping you could give advice on how to support my wife in the situation while feeling so hurt and helpless on my own. Thank you, Wendy, with an I. You really are the best, he says. He actually spelled that out. It's pretty funny. Anonymous. We'll keep it anonymous. So, that's a hard one. And I'm guessing this sort of stuff, probably you'll know statistically, I guess, more than anybody, maybe, because you've dealt with a lot of this stuff, both offenders and victims. But is it often that these things are bottled up for that long and they don't come out? Is that the more common thing? Okay.
Especially when it's family, a close family member. But you can have a neighbor or almost a stranger, and it's really pretty common to not say anything for years. And she had some. So the degree of connection when the offender is like your father, it's so damaging in every way, but it's particularly bad when it is a parent, because just like we were saying with mom falling down the stairs, a parent's role is to be the protector, the sort of keeper of reality, and when that gets very messed up, and abuse, neglect, there's all sorts of forms of this, but sexual abuse in particular is an assault on so many things other than just your body. So just your very core, everything is messed up. And so it's not at all surprising that this woman engaged in self-harm and, all of those various things that happen. That's a pretty common side effect of sexual abuse, actually. And especially incestual sexual abuse, and or even maybe if it's not even a blood relative, but just a close person that was a person of trust. There is something notable about this that I think can often be part of the formula that's so damaging, and that is just the person of trust is everyone trusts him, right?
Yeah.
And it's you, this little child who's keeping the family secret, keeping the reputation of this person, all of that weight on them. And there's not one of us that wouldn't self-harm at that point. You know what I mean? It is just it's the way to handle that level of pressure and pain and betrayal and all of those things. And so it's incredibly sad, but not uncommon, unfortunately, in a lot of these circumstances. So, this is a tough one. So I'm not sure if I missed that V was getting help now.
It sounds like she's,
he didn't say.
I guess he didn't say. Well, one would assume that part of this coming out and telling everybody and then working on her healing process sounds like maybe that was a directed thing, or maybe.
Yeah, and so his question really is, how does he support his wife who has been, she's affected already. She already has trust issues, and then, the one person she thought, the one decent guy out there, was, it turns out, and this is so tricky because our experience as humans is a craving for understanding and safety. Like we know where we are, we know who we trust, we know what we do. We're in some, quote unquote control of our life and our surroundings. And this is one of those things that rocks a community, a family, a person to the core, because it's a thing you've just taken for granted, right? That this is safe and this is okay. And that, and then you've watched you've watched your sister suffer her whole life, and now you know why. And it was the person that you had officiate at your wedding did that. It's just so layered and hard. So my initial advice is you can support her, love her, let her talk, don't make her talk, just be there for her, do all the things that are sometimes hard to do because you cannot fix this. And then just really encourage her to talk to someone professionally. They will know exactly how to guide her. And some of this stuff, you're angry too. So it's tricky. It gets complicated, right? So I'm angry, my husband's angry at something, and then we only talk to each other. We're going to get very different situation than we would if I could go to someone neutral to express that anger and feel safe doing so and work through it, and knowing I'm not burdening that person, or I'm not having to worry about how they're feeling back. And that's the power of it, right? The power is you don't have to take care of the therapist. The therapist takes care of you. And a lot of close people in your life can do some of that for sure. You definitely need to use your support system, but that's a hard one. Like, hey, I need to talk to you, friend, about my dad. There's still the protecting factor that feels like it's necessary, right? To still protect the reputation and protect your family. And this is why it's so complicated. So I would highly recommend that she go see someone. Obviously, V needs help, and I assume she's getting it based on.
So how do you know the difference between, let's say that anybody listening, let's say our mom or a dad or somebody's listening, and their kid is they're in junior high or high school and they're going through similar stuff, like they're acting out in similar ways. Maybe it's the cutting thing, maybe it's whatever it is, sleeping around, drinking, whatever it is. How do you not hear this and then worry about that? Or is there a way, you know what I'm trying to say? Like either it's going to make,
you should worry about it.
And so what do you do as a parent? What do you do to find out, or to help, or to,
every case is going to be individual, right? But some of it is, it's especially if it's a sudden change. Now, this is a case where she's 12 years old. She's assaulted by her father. They didn't say how long, or did they? I can't remember now.
No, not for how long, but that it was an incident.
Because sometimes one event, multiple events over many years, there is tends to be differences in how people respond to that. All of it's awful, but the longer term ones tend to have a lot more psychological damage than a one-off event. And and so it's just perpetually not feeling safe, perpetually. And even if that's true, even if it's a one-off event, no one knows, and it's your father and you're still living in his house. I mean, can you ever sleep again? You know, like you think of all of the ways that impacts the kid. And so if suddenly at 12, your kid behaves really differently, or you see them, it's almost like the light gets turned out in their eyes and they are suddenly behaving in ways that feel strange to you, and again, the suddenness can be one of your biggest hints. Now, sometimes there's just like, I've gone to junior high and I have this new friend and now we're drinking. You know, there's like the directional, it makes sense as an adolescent exploring different things versus, and this isn't true in every case. So, but I would say most kids there's some hints that something has gone wrong. It can be that they're just suddenly hiding things more, or that, you know, like if you try to go touch their backpack and they kind of freak out, that's something to pay attention to. You're cleaning their room and they're just more sneaky, or they're more sullen. And this is what's hard. Teenagers are generally like sullen, right? Like they are struggling emotionally generally. And so it's being attuned to them, and, you know, but also your relationship with your kid matters. I know they're not going to tell you everything, but if you are sort of attuned to them and you have a sense of their okayness, and this is moody and it comes and goes, that kind of thing. But when it's like a gut thing, and I know that's not very scientific, but like a gut thing that something more is happening and my child has changed, something is different. And so you probe, you ask, you pay attention, and that kid still may not tell you, because say you're the mom and you're saying, what's wrong? And the kid's like, there's no way I can tell you that dad's molesting me. Your husband, you know, under your roof, you know, so it's not some linear way of like, you will know your child is having problems and you will ask them and they will tell you, and then you can go get help. Yeah. This is why this is such a chronic problem, is it's so complex and so many layers that, you know, you're asking a kid to do something most adults probably can't do. And that level of risk and opening up and getting help is tricky. So that sounds pretty hopeless, but the idea being you can pay attention, and if there is sudden shifts, you know, you talk, and when you're worried, you seek out resources to help your kid. And if your kid's cutting, it doesn't matter what the reason is. It doesn't matter if they were molested or not. If they are cutting and you find that out, you get them help immediately, because there's typically
any sorts of self-harm needs to be addressed immediately.
Yes, because here's the thing about it. And it's a pretty simple way to think of it. So it's simplified. But you are in psychological distress or emotional distress and pain to the extent that the only relief you get is from the endorphins being released by physical pain. And it's very addictive very quickly. And so
that's interesting, because no one's ever explained that to me, that's why they do it. Because I always thought, well, why would you want to keep this is just a distracting hurt. Like I had all kinds of theories, but I didn't realize that was like a very chemical based sort of
absolutely
thing.
And it feels amazing, and it's a break from the pain. So if your psychological pain outweighs, and so let me cut your hand, and you'll be like, that's not help, that's only giving me pain.
Yeah.
But it's not overriding another pain. So you have to think of it like that. So if your kid is cutting, there's one of two things happening. They're in such psychological distress that cutting and endorphins are making them feel better. And or, you know, maybe a friend is doing it, and there's a bit of social contagion of like, oh yeah. Like, I mean, I think there's many young women who have starved themselves or binged or purged before because their friend did it, or they heard about it. So sometimes there is the experimentation, and either way, doesn't matter what is the motivation behind it. Take it very seriously, because it's a coping strategy that's incredibly effective and chemically effective. And so you really do have to figure out what's going on and give that kid the help that they need, because that strategy is not going to work long term. And then it's its own sort of worst enemy as well, right? So be very careful with that. I mean, it's tricky. I don't know the ages of everybody in this email, but you know, I like to think we're getting better. at catching stuff like this. And in some cases we are.
Yeah.
And, you know, teachers are better trained to see signs of things. You know, I think knowing it's not okay or something's wrong, parents maybe have a little more resources or knowledge to do something about it. But incest continues to be just, for obvious reasons, I think, really difficult to help detect and prevent and help, you know, because it's just within the walls of somebody's home, and that is
right.
And the layers of protectionism and
right. Plus, it's just a warped look at the normal hierarchy of who, you know, I'm the one being nurtured and raised and cared for and watched over, and when those roles get all jacked up because of that, then for the victim, it's just confusing. Like I can't imagine, because you're still reliant on this person or people to feed me and clothe me and get me to school on time, and like all of those things don't stop. Yeah, that's just
and the very core of, I mean, I sort of think about abuse as, if we boiled it down to one thing, it's damaging someone's ability to trust anyone, right? Because it goes out in waves from there, right? I can't trust this very fundamental thing. And so the world is a very terrifying place if there's no one to trust and deeply trust and be safe again with, you know? And so it's just, and you can do that in lots of different ways, but this way is particularly damaging. And you know, it's hard. And, you know, I think the Harvey Weinstein thing that's kind of in the middle of the legal battle right now, that's fascinating about what's happening with that, is that his lawyer in particular is just perpetuating all the bull crap that has always been surrounding sexual assault, which is, she seemed fine afterwards. Well, you know what? This 12-year-old probably seemed fine for a couple months. But then it shows up in different ways. So you go, oh, well, she's just rebelling, right? So no one's trained to sort of really understand the impacts of sexual assault.
Who with a straight face can say she seemed fine afterwards, and that's a basis for any sort of legal argument?
Well, it's victim blaming, and you use the worst parts of humanity to win your client's case.
Well, then she's a giant poop, because I hate that.
Well, that's minimal there.
Yeah.
And just the damage that does. And you know, I have a lot of clients who've had sexual abuse in their history. And I mean, we just have a straight up rule. They don't get to ever watch the news, because it is triggering constantly. And, you know, that from the top of the government down to local news, they are going to hear things about people who just get away with it. Right. And there isn't consequences for abusers in their mind, and they just pay the price. And so it just is so hard to help them heal when there's public stuff like that, you know?
Yeah.
So I would throw in one last thing for the wife, and V is probably hopefully already involved in this, but there are in most communities sort of some type of recovery center or nonprofit group that has services. So there's counseling there specific to sexual assault and recovery, and, you know, specific to incest, you know, members of families who are affected by all of this. So to do some searching and find a place that's really qualified. I would not just go to Psychology Today and be like, oh, that therapist seems nice. I would get someone who is specifically going to work with this. And the one big benefit there too is access to groups where you are meeting in a support group with people who have been through similar things. It's really powerful to get that support, because the vast majority of people, you know, you think, you know, are not in that boat. And so they just are not going to get it. They are not going to understand what that's like. And so sometimes that can feel incredibly isolating. And you can't talk about it anyway. And so that's a really great place to find a resource for yourself, that there's a group. It's run by very kind people and professionals, and you get that support.
I like those kind of people.
I know, good folk.
They're good folk. All right. Well, that's good advice, and I hope things are better. And then, you know, it sounds like this person they're calling V is maybe on track to make all the right moves. But I think your advice to him and his wife, her sister is to get some help as well is a good one. That's a great idea. It shouldn't just all be about the victim here, because you guys, in some ways, the sister is it's a weird kind of secondary victimhood.
Yeah, totally. And he's secondary trauma too, right? Of having that experience.
Right. So that's important. All right. Before we go, I have some good news, because on that hard, difficult topic, we're going to switch to a success story. All right, success story.
Need some smiles after that. Yeah.
What do you got?
Okay, so hold on, we gotta give the dog a bone. Dog, eat a bone.
Give the dog a bone.
Give the dog a bone.
Yeah.
Nice. Oh, that's so funny. He wants to wrestle me, and I'm like, I have to run away from him. Okay. All right. So I got an email from somebody. This is a long time ago. You might remember. He wrote in about just being incredibly suicidal.
Okay.
And he reached out to us and asked for some help, and he just sent an email. So this was 2 years ago.
Oh, I remember this conversation.
Yeah, we love follow-up emails. They're so great. So, you can also send sad ones, but also please send the happy ones. Okay. So let me just read it. Anonymous, of course. Okay. So, hey there, Wendy. I've been meaning to reach out to you for a long time, but haven't gotten around to it. I'm not sure if you remember me. You talked about me on the morning stream once, a little over 2 years ago, about dealing with the aftermath of suicide attempts. About a month after that segment aired, I ended up back in the hospital. I checked myself in because I was close to making another attempt. Well, there, I was put on the last medication that I hadn't tried. That medication was the key to giving me space to deal with my life. I went from having suicidal thoughts almost constantly to having none at all, and have maintained that for 2 years in March. It's incredible what you can achieve when you aren't constantly fighting your brain for survival. So he's been able to get certifications and gain skills that have enabled him to be more stable, taken on challenges, and has been able to succeed.
Nice.
So he just wanted to send a thank you.
That's great.
He said, listening to the show while I was listening to Scott and Brian was a great distraction provided all those years when I was struggling, and it was very important. I wanted to thank you personally. I'm happy to talk about my journey to anyone who needs to hear it, and I hope this message somehow enables that.
Oh, that's awesome. Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Makes me really happy to hear that. Yeah, it makes me very happy.
So if anyone needs to chat with that guy, reach out to me and I'll hook the two of you up. But it's exciting. I mean, 2 years is, you kind of don't know, and you hope. And he's doing great. So.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well done, and that is kind of the happy story we needed at the end of today's segment.
No kidding.
Also,
That's
I guess
great.
do you want to mention what's happening with me later? I'm getting interviewed.
Yeah. So today on Real Steps, you obviously have to be a member to, and there's only 45 of you, so I don't know if any of you are even listening, but
realsteps.org, everybody. Realsteps.org.
That's right. Put your email in. You can do it next round. Scott is going to be interviewed by Elena, who is the nutritionist, and we are going to, and Scott, you can ask us questions too, but it's basically, we're just going to go through a little bit of your history with food and your relationship to your health and fun like that, stuff like that.
Unpacking Scott's luggage.
Yeah, a little bit. But Scott, I also want you to maybe prep yourself a little bit with questions you have, because I don't know if you've ever talked to a nutritionist before.
No, never have. Well, I had a friend in our where we used to live who was a nutritionist, and I would ask really basic stuff once in a while about things that I would hear or whatever, but it was never in-depth sort of questioning. So this will be a first.
So think of some questions you have. She's like, it's not going to be like we're actually grilling you or anything, but just get a take on your history with taking care of yourself. And I was telling her about our family's taco salad history and how we have some pretty weird family food stories. And anyway, so it'll be fun. So tune in if you are in that group. If you are not, I don't know. We're just messing with you and teasing you about it. Sorry.
You have to do this on a day that I brought up Freddy's steak burgers.
Great. I know. That's what I want for lunch. Now I got to rethink my whole lunch plan. Oh, man. We'll figure it out. But yeah, it'll be good, and we'll see what I unpack. I have a lot to say about how I used to perceive when I was younger, what I perceived food and my relationship to it versus now are like polar opposites. It's just like a completely different world. So I'm sure that'll. Well,
we're excited to hear from you. Thank you for doing it.
Yeah, heck yeah.
Appreciate it.
Good times. All right, well, we'll see you next week for more. And Wendy will actually be here in April at some point. Oh, wait, is the wedding on a Thursday now?
It is on a Thursday. So
what the crap? Who has weddings on a
school night?
Thursday? I know, it's so
I
weird.
know.
So we were gonna do be here in the studio live, but now it sounds like we're gonna be at a wedding. So I don't know how that's gonna go, but we may do something while you're here. We'll figure it out.
Okay.
Wendy is over at go to realsteps.org, and you can also find her on Instagram under Wendy Dunford. You can follow all her little photo business over there. I don't know why I said photo business. It's
definitely not a photo
not
business.
a business. Wendy, have a fantastic week. We'll see you next
All
time.
right, thanks. Bye guys.
All right. Oh, what a dork.
Night weddings. That's crazy.
I know.
Crazy.
Does that make any sense to you? It doesn't to me either. It's weird.
No.
I'm going to have issues with it. All right. That's going to do it for today's show. A quick note. I'm going to put this up on the screen here. Just want people to see this GIF I found. And I want to ask Brian, once I show it to him, whether or not he's ever done this before.
Jeez.
So,
I'm very nervous.
It's because you like to cook and do some chefy things once in a while.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Have you ever done this? Have you ever? Here it comes. Slowly.
Is that just a block of cheddar cheese?
It's a giant block of cheddar cheese being jammed up a open chicken carcass.
That is not good at all.
Would you? And then I assume one would cook it.
Well, yeah, you have to, or else you'll get E. coli and.
Right, but now you have a cooked bird, just full of cheese. That just seems
and
weird.
Oil and grease, and that's not going to cook the way they think it's going to cook. Like you're not going to get a nice cheesy drumstick. Yeah, that's a turkey, by the way, not a chicken.
Oh, is it a turkey?
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's a big ass chicken.
That's a big chicken.
I like chicken. I like a block of cheese and chicken.
Cheese chicken. Yeah.
Cheese stuffed chicken.
Right. So you're not going to make this then. You're not
that's-
going to turn around and do this on the weekend.
I am not going to do this.
Okay.
No.
All right. Well,
turkey and cheese is a great sandwich, but not a. You're really just going to end up with a cavity full of melted cheese. It's not going to
it doesn't soak into the bird, right?
A chicken breast,
right? All right. It's not like a brine or something that soaks into the meat. Exactly.
There's a whole bunch of bones and cartilage and stuff between the cheese and the parts of the turkey that you're going to be eating.
Yeah, it's just a turkey full of cheese.
Yeah.
Stuffed turkey is what it is.
Just the fact that this gift just keeps on repeating.
It never ends.
No, I know.
Yeah.
I want an after shot, but I'm not getting one.
Well, let me tell you what this reminds me of right here. Hold on. Reminds me of this.
Lava tubes.
It's like a lava tube.
It's pretty much what it is, yes.
All right. We're going to...
Lava cavities.
We're going to take our leave. Okay, so tomorrow, TMS PM is available to those who are patrons. So if you want to be there live or catch it on the podcast, that's how you get it. Patreon.com/TMS. Details are all there. 1 week from tomorrow, we'll be doing... 1 week and a day from tomorrow, because we're doing a Saturday. We are going to do a TMS Playdate. Now... The reason we're doing Saturday isn't because of scheduling. It's because we want to mix it up occasionally, bounce it back and forth. Yeah, so more people can be there. People who are stuck at work can't be there, and sometimes on Friday. So now more of you can be there on a Saturday. So more on that. Yeah,
we're getting a couple of other guys joining us. Brian Dunaway and Randy Deluxe are going to be. At least Brian Dunaway I know is confirmed. I think Randy also said he can be there. Will join us for Patreon Playdate on the 29th as well.
Nice. We're going to do it right after. Film sack, basically.
Right after film sack. I don't know what we will have just watched, but
oh yeah, no kidding. What are we watching this week?
Because I know I added a bunch of things. I wonder if
Inception is this week.
If they stayed. Well, Inception is this weekend.
Oh right. Oh, the next weekend. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I hope it's one of the ones you put in front of one of the dumb ones.
It might be Dracula 3000, which would be awesome. If
totally. I would. I'm ready for that.
I have two tabs open, Scott, but my browser is going really slow.
Well, you'll get another red screen of death here in a minute.
That's right. Careful. Here we go. Dracula 3000 is our next movie after Inception.
Awesome. I'm in.
It's an Amazon Prime about a future Dracula found on a spaceship.
Very nice.
Yes. Blah, blah.
Blah. I remember it being, it's a John Carpenter movie, right?
Shields up, blah, blah. Red alert, blah.
Eject the main core, blah, blah.
Make it go, blah. Be great if it was Draclids.
That is really funny. So I was going to make a point about something. I don't remember. Oh, yeah. So anyway, tune in for that. Inception this weekend for Film Sack. And tomorrow we got the Instance. We got Film Sack, like I mentioned. We're hoping to. So we had to. John's got the hardcore flu, so we didn't have core last night. So we're going to try again tonight. Flu. So you should get a Current Geek today, a core tonight, and sometime today Kim and I are doing Skim. It's a full day's business today on Thursday. So strap it in. Plus I got to talk to Wendy at 2, so a lot going on.
And then tomorrow before TMS PM, I'll be doing another Coverville Guess the Connection at its new time, 2:30 p.m. So that it's like I have my whole morning and afternoon kind of cleared up for work, and then after that it is podcast, little rest period, and then podcast.
Wow.
Boom to boom to boom.
That's pretty good.
I know it's the same time as DTNS. Sorry, you do have to choose one or the other, but
maybe
you
Tom
can't win any. I'm just gonna say you can't win anything on DTNS.
That's right.
But you can win something on Guess the Connection.
Maybe Tom will fart in protest. Finally.
Maybe.
We'll get a fart out of Tom. He just did.
Ibbit!
All right. We should get out of here.
Tom's farts sound like radio static.
Yeah, I was going to say, that was an odd choice for a fart sound.
Yeah,
but I'll take it.
There we go.
There you go. Much better. All right, we're going to take Periscope. Yes, TWBD should happen. So I don't want to get into details or anything, but the Fergusons were out of commission last weekend due to a bit of an emergency.
The Fergusons couldn't come over for bridge?
Yeah, it sounds like neighbors. But yeah, Kyle and Kristen had a thing come up. Send good vibes their way because it was a pretty rough week for them. But anyway, it looks like that may be finally okay and that things will be okay for Sunday's episode. So, and hopefully John feels better by then because he is just a freaking bubbling.
Listen,
spewing
you let me
mess.
know when you need a bald NPC bard to show up on TWBD, and I'm there with bells on.
That's perfect because John is bald and he plays a bard. So.
Oh well, never mind. Then you've already got a bald bard.
Yeah, but when he's not there, we could use another bald bard.
Oh,
see,
the bald barb sub.
Because right now he's just he's snotty
and
gross.
You usually mean is like just an NPC. Oh, hey, welcome to my town. Can I help you
welcome to my town.
The nearest. I apparently think that all Dungeons and Dragons games are like the quest finding part of Wild Arms.
Right. Oh my gosh. Welcome to my town. I'm your
Welcome
NPC.
to my town.
That's amazing. All right. Should we play a song? I think we should.
We should play a song.
All right.
This one goes out to my new Marvel Strike Force Alliance mate, Baloney Ninja.
Whoa.
Yes, that's right. Baloney Ninja in the chat. Long time. He's a long time TMSer too, but he's playing playing Marvel Strike Force, and he's in our alliance now.
Very nice.
Dear Scotty and the Beebs, on the crisp cold day of February 18th, 41 years ago, the world was blessed with my presence. I would love to share in the celebration of this wonderful event by requesting one of the greatest covers of all time from one of the greatest bands of all time by one of the most talented artists of all time. Queen's Bohemian Rhapsody by Alfred Yankovic and the classic style of polka.
Wow. That's...
By Grabthar's hammer, you shall be avenged. Signed, Baloney Ninja.
Wow. That's great.
Wow. Wow is right? I mean,
so is this a ninja that goes after baloney and is always trying to get all the baloney, or is this a ninja that is a fake ninja
that uses baloney that he's nibbled out pieces to make throwing stars?
Okay, so throwing baloney as a weapon.
Yeah.
And then the third option is baloney ninja, meaning you're not really a good ninja because you're full of baloney. That's the third option.
Oh, a baloney. Yeah, right.
I like yours, the one in the middle, the stars.
Yeah, he's not a Bologna ninja.
No. Bologna.
So that might Bologna ninja. Yeah. Yes.
Exactly.
All right. So from his Alapalooza album from 1993. Oh my God, it's already been 27 years since Alapalooza.
Jeez.
I don't like that at all. Here's Weird Al Yankovic and Bohemian Polka.
This show is part of the Frog Pants Network.
Frog Pants Network.
Get more shows like this at frogpants.com.
Huh? What? Oh. Okay.
That lady there? You knew who that is.
Yeah.
It's the same lady.
It sounds like what's her face from